good evening, and welcome to What's Going On. I am your host, Kathy Blaze Jefferson, and I am so excited tonight to have our special guest lined up for you. Please join me in welcoming LadyVee Productions and Alan Poe Productions.
Hey, hey.
Hail all the way from Atlanta. Yes. Welcome.
Hey.
Thank you.
So Atlanta, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm a little peppier, and I know it's about 8:30 there, so you guys may be a little tired, but you know what, we're gonna get this going.
Mhm.
Art Out Loud ATL is a creative collaboration between Lady V Productions and Alan Poe Productions, entertainment music group. They specialize in open mic variety shows, creative workshops, custom music productions and apparel, and event production planning services. They provide resources for independent artists to thrive and curate experiences for people who love quality performing arts. Did I leave anything out?
That's us in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's you in a nutshell. And that is a lot of service there that you guys are providing.
Yeah.
I'd like to also, before we get started into the good meat of everything, I'd like to ask, where are you guys originally from?
I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia. It's about 2 hours from Atlanta.
And I'm
Okay.
from Queens, New York, Queens,
Okay.
Brooklyn, Long Island. Whoop-de-whoop.
Well, welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you all about what you do because you know what? This is an industry that's always thriving, and there's always a need for pretty much everything that I listed here in your bio. There's always a need for this because, you know, you have our entertainers and our events and things that's steady and going, but there's always new coming artists and new events, and there's always something new that can utilize these services that you guys provide. So I want to get into talking about all the things you've done, what you expect in the say in the next 5 years. I mean, where do you see this industry going? Okay. First, I'd like to mention also with everything collaborated with the two production company, it comes to Art Out Loud ATL is what you guys are called. And this blends a live performance, creative writing, and an event production company. What inspired you to create a space that brings all these art forms together under one roof?
That's the key word at the end right there, all under one roof.
Mhm.
It's so expensive for people to go to one place for one thing and the other place for other thing and the other place for the other thing. It's like if we have it all under one roof is, that cliche is a one-stop shop. And
Yeah.
so it's like if you work with the same person, if you work with, somebody that's experienced, and especially if you work with an artist, then
Mhm.
they really know, what your needs are, what your wants are, and you can get it all done at the same spot and you save a lot of money that way. But you also have that consistency of that one stop shop. You don't have to go a million different places for what you need.
Yeah, you can call us the Walmart of the arts.
The
And
Target,
that's
or maybe not Target.
Everything,
Hold
yeah,
on.
everything under one roof. So
look, no, we ain't gonna say Target, okay? Okay, Mr. Poe, paint me a little picture of that. I'm an artist that's coming to you, and I want to throw an event. What would that look like?
okay, let's say you come out to the shows. First and foremost would be let's say you you knock off the nervousness, and you decide to come out and perform in front of people. You get out there, you perform. Uh, let's say that you want to take it on to the next level. Like, you know what? I want to put whatever I'm doing towards music, and I want to see if I have a following or a crowd out there.
Mhm.
So what I do is first is we come down with, let's say, an appointment to come to the studio where you can come in and talk, and you can exactly see firsthand of all the equipment, and then we start to build it up from there.
Mhm.
In the sense of when I say artist management, sometimes you need
Mhm.
some coaching.
Right.
I'm very fortunate to be like the kind of the front man for music production at the show, so I can kind of critique whether what areas that person needs improvement on.
Right.
Maybe they're not projecting right, or they're nervous and
Or
they
their stage
pacing back and
presence.
forth.
Yes, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, or they're forgetful. So we kind of build it up from there, and once they get there, I kind of talk to them and whatnot. Okay, what is your expectations? Firsthand, they already, by the time they get to the studio, they already know exactly what I do. I tell them this is my information. Look it up first. It's all on Google, it's all on the internet, and you can hit the Art Out Loud website, and you can hear exactly what exactly I'm doing. So they get there, we knock the cobwebs off, we get them into a kind of comfortable space where they can be more creative, more expressive, and we take it from there. Hear them, I normally I record them, let them hear themselves. This is how, we know you practice already, but now when I hit play, you hear yourself coming from a different frequency.
Right.
So then they're like, oh, I sound like that. I say, yeah, build that up, encourage them, let them do it again a couple of times. And after a while, oh yeah, let's put it to music. Then I go into my Rolodex and ask what type of genre of music they like. But normally they can give me a title and I can kind of build off of that. We go ahead, record the process, let them hear it, build the confidence up. I said, okay, now exactly what you want to do with it. Oh, I want to put it out for the world. I'm the next biggest thing. So that's where the production comes into, where, I go ahead and master everything, get it ready for all types of online distribution.
So you guys are doing, sorry to interrupt you, but you guys are doing a lot more than what I had thought. You're not just planning the events and
that's small. That's
yes, you guys are doing a lot, and you're all, I don't want to, I'm probably not using the right terminology, but you're consulting and you're as you said, training and really helping them through the whole process is what you're doing.
Yeah, I kind of train them because sometimes they get it. It depends on the artist at the time. Some people you can coach, some people you can't.
Right. I mean, the cool part about the umbrella effect is that the people that come to the open mic shows, they're like, they're singers, poets, musicians, just hip hop artists, and they come to the open mic show and they see him, with his original production DJing at the show, and then he gives them the business card, and it goes from there. Just like, well, man, we see so much talent in Atlanta that you might want to take your art away from the open mic show and have like a digital album, or you might want to do something else with it.
Yeah, the one thing is we don't, the shows, they have grown throughout the years to the point where they kind of people know what to expect. You're not getting up there. It's not a whole lot of profanity. Like, let's say the artist that's performing Saturday, well polished. The artist has already did 4 or 5 shows with us, so I know exactly what to expect when they get there.
Right, and the artist knows what to expect.
Yeah, you know how to get there. And
right.
We have our live stream show, live from the Beat Lab that comes to twice a month on Wednesdays. And we interview certain, just like how you're doing now, we interview certain artists and whatnot. So by the time they get to this stage or we interact, they know, CEO Alan Poe, LadyVee, they're not for all the games. I got to really come with it because, how can I say this? Don't waste our time. Don't waste our time, because there's always somebody who's calling, texting. You guys are free. Can I come over today? Can Alan, can you work on this song? Or I'm sending you a whole lot of acapellas and vocals through the phone, and any way they can get it to me. And I'm like, okay.
And it seems like that type of person needs to come out to one of your open mic shows and see what's all put into it, and then think, is that free? I mean, because or sit down and have a one-on-one with you and find out what the services are that you provide, and they would get that information. Lady V, you had something you wanted to say.
I was just gonna say, I made up a tagline. It's like Art Out Loud ATL is where professional artists come to play. So it's
Yeah,
just like, you come to the open mic
and
show, you network with people,
right.
sit out there and you just be enlightened by all the talent. But if you want to take it to the next level, we have that too.
Yeah, the
Right. And
one
that
thing,
key word you said was professional.
yeah, the one thing that I like to say is, you know, they'll come to the workshops where I call her lady. I know this is my wife. I call her lady. She has 5 or 6 publications out. You know what I mean? That's one thing. And then at the same time, her reputation, she's been doing it over 15, 20 years of hosting
Okay,
and
okay.
getting features, right? And the third thing is like she's been in the studio. She has collaborations with a lot of the artists that I currently work with. So that's one thing. Then on the flip side with me, I have 10 albums out, 26 singles in circulation right now.
Go
So
on, Mr. Poe. Toot your horn now.
yeah, so the thing is they know that, we're very resourceful. When you do reach out to us, kind of be ready.
Right.
It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be like, oh, I'm not where I need to be. But at least at the same time, be cultured. We're cultured.
Right. Well, you know what that old saying.
Culture.
There's something wrong if you're not nervous. You know what?
Yeah.
We all have those nerves, and you know what I would say. Once you get out there and get on that stage, those nerves are going to disappear.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
I always say, don't say the N word. Nervous. Don't ever say the N word.
And I was telling them, you're nervous, but a lot of people couldn't get on stage and doing what you're doing now.
That's true.
So they sit up there and they wonder and I don't have enough nerves, but you already kind of shut the cobwebs off, and you are here now. So own this time. This is your moment.
That is true. Open mic variety shows are a big part of your brand. What makes an Art Out Loud ATL open mic experience unique compared to others in Atlanta?
Ooh.
Like that's a.
You wrote that question?
I found that question. And I'm happy to answer that question because it's like in Atlanta is an open mic show every night of the week almost. It's like Sunday through Saturday. You can go anywhere, then go to an open mic. But when you go to Art Out Loud open mic, you got original music playing, like from CEO Alan Poe. You might be sitting next to the person in the audience that made the music you're hearing on the speakers. So that doesn't happen everywhere else. And my son comes to every show. It's a family-friendly show. So it's just like, there's people that are like, oh, I can't come. I got kids. And something like, are your kids talented? Are they in the school band? Or they, can they sing? They can get up on the open mic too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
look, I can say I just had him on my show. I just saw him a minute ago.
Exactly. And so, there's not a lot of open mics in Atlanta where you can bring your kids and they can get up on stage. Every second Saturday, we have our show at an African Cultural Gallery. It's called Westview Makerspace. And so it's just like, that type of venue, you can bring your kids, you can bring your mom, your dad, or whoever. So that's what makes
you're a family, and you know that feeling, the family unit. So why would you want someone else to have that as well?
Right.
I understand there's other venues where children can't go, but then there should be a place where we can include the kids also. So I like that.
Mm-hmm. I think the best part about our show that we ask for feedback after the show, just to kind of put it on our website or whatever. And they always say, the vibe is so welcoming. Like you walk in, you don't need a secret password. You don't need a secret handshake to get in or whatnot. And I think the most important part is that we're artists ourselves. And we know how it feels to go to shows and be like, they're ignoring us and all of that. We know how it feels because we're artists too.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to some nightclub shows and stuff, they're just there for the, the $10, the $20 entry fee, and they don't care about the quality of the music.
They take you $20 and they're gone.
Yes.
May I ask, where did Art Out Loud, where'd that name come from?
What? Art Out Loud, where'd it come from?
That came from my mind. It's like I brought him into the Art Out Loud because at first it was LadyVee Productions LLC. So it's like LadyVee is me, and that's just, it was just poetry. So you
Um,
come out, you snap your fingers, it was just poets. But he comes along in, 2017-ish, and he's got the hip hop artists, he's got the musicians, he's
okay.
got, all the other types of genre. I'm like, why don't we open it up? It's like art out loud ATL. It's like, it's
Oh,
not just LadyVee's poets on stage. It's like
right.
music and tap dancing
Yeah.
and singing and everything else.
I mean, when she pitched it, I was just like, well, I've always been, Alan Poe production, and
And he
now
can still be
now
that,
it's
but
all out loud. Oh no, I'm gonna have the poets, and but then you realize, like, you know what, it's a feeling behind all of this, and it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It works. If it works, I'm like, you know what, I was going right with it. Now, I respect the vision. I succumbed to the vision, and now I'm like, okay, this actually works.
he thinks all my show names are cheesy and corny, but they're not. I came up with the Spoken Spice open mic, and he's like, oh no, but the show is at Spice Bistro.
Yeah.
So it's like, that goes
Oh,
so well, like, and everybody's like, the Spoken Spice open mic, like, that's really memorable. So I'm just like, yeah, we're
yeah.
keeping
Come on, Mr. Poe. That's why she's the lady now. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I just leave it alone.
But I
I have a
love,
4-year
I love
marketing
that
degree.
name as the top tier because most people when they think of art, they think of someone with a brush painting, and that's the extent of what they think. Art is so vast, it's so
Yes.
huge. I mean,
Mhm.
there's so much that falls under that umbrella. So I love that you chose Art Out Loud
Yeah,
because you're giving all those different artists out there an opportunity to be up under that. So that's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
I have creative collaboration is the at the heart of your mission. How do Lady V Productions, and we may have touched this a little bit, and Alan Poe Productions complement each other creatively and operationally?
How do you compliment me, Alan?
Oh boy, all right. First and foremost, you mentioned something before about the shows. Before we merged,
Join forces
joined
as the
forces,
Avengers.
and yeah. Um, No, shows were okay. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. They were cool. They was all right. They was all right. It was cool. So the element or the compliment is the fact that uh, at every show we play all original music, right?
Mm.
At every show, unless I'm DJing a certain event, then I play radio friendly music and stuff like that. So the thing is, how can I say, kind of like night and dark. A lot of the people that would normally go to an open mic, they come out to support what I'm doing, and
Uh,
also they're like, okay, this is great because I
so
wouldn't.
they're getting to feel something new that you're
Yeah, they're
doing
like,
also
okay,
now.
these
Yeah.
poets are dope. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, oh, and then that's where the networking starts.
Hmm.
There's a lot of the poets are now doing collaborations with a lot of the artists that I work with, a lot of the
Yes.
musicians that I work with, and then they're taking it to the next level by putting it out there in the world. They putting it in stores and whatnot, and that start off by the two worlds coming together.
You
Right.
can tell
Right.
he's wearing his Alan Poe T-shirt
Yeah,
or whatnot.
I'm always branded. One thing.
Okay.
I'm always branded, and
And a lot of the poets, they're like, could you put my poem on a shirt, or could you
yeah,
brand my brand and stuff?
yeah,
And I didn't have the custom apparel before. I didn't have the music aspect of it before. It's like a
yeah,
lot of poets, they're seeing that, hey, we have some extra resources that could expand my art. So I love the fact that
Yes.
I'm not just saying get up on stage and snap your fingers or whatnot. It's just like
Mhm.
you could do a lot more with your poetry because you have these extra resources
and then
here.
one
And that's
thing,
wonderful. It's like having a team. I mean, you can pull
yeah,
from all these different areas. I
yeah,
mean, as a poet, sometimes, you're working with music. And so, hey, Alan has this nice rapper over here. I want to use him on
Yes.
my next stage. So, I mean, you guys can pull from each other. So I
No,
see how amazing the collaboration is between and how you guys complement each other. And I love the way Lady
listen,
V looks at you when you're talking. So,
I mean, we're doing this back and forth, but one thing
We have no script. We're not.
one thing that I love that when we get the feedback from people, it's like imagine a poet at a music fest concert. You
mm,
know, that normally, when you think of poets, I mean, I'm not downgrading anything. You think of coffee shops, you think of
yes,
jazz stuff.
yeah,
Imagine you lady done performed in some of the biggest places where a lot of musicians at.
Sig
right.
Winery.
Yeah, and then that
Well,
normally
that's
wouldn't.
and those are the typical places that you see poets. So,
Yeah, but then you're like,
yes,
wow, this is, some places there might be a little hole in the wall or whatever, but they're being exposed to something
right,
that they're not used to. Like, oh,
right.
this poet wouldn't normally come here, but I'm supporting what CEO Alan Poe is doing, and oh,
Mm.
wow, I'm gonna come back.
Right. And you know what? And I can imagine you're bringing out other skill sets of those poets and or those artists. Those
Yes.
rappers are learning something from those poets as well, or those
Mhm.
singers or performers, musicians. They're all learning something from each other,
Yes.
let alone learning from Mr. Poe and Lady V there.
You can't have hip hop without poetry. I mean, I'm just gonna say
Right.
it. You
Yeah.
can't do it.
Right. Right. With such a wide range of offerings, from music productions to apparel to event planning, how do you ensure the quality and consistency of each experience you curate?
Because I have OCD.
Oh.
I'm laughing about it, but I'm really with. I'm just saying, I'm really with the
Uh,
details of everything because I've been to shows where I'm taking mental notes. I want to do that. I'll never do that. I'll never
Mm,
ever do that, but I want to do that. When I first moved to Atlanta, I went to every open mic there was, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great and this is not so great, and I don't like the parking here, blah blah blah. And that was my notes on how to make my show, take all the good parts and leave the rest. So
yeah,
definitely, I'm just like, man, if the details are correct, if people walk in the door, they feel welcome. They'll tell their friends, they'll tell their mama, your daddy, your cousin, and everything like that. It's like
yes.
if I can create that atmosphere, I've done my job.
That is awesome because you know what? I heard you mention earlier about taking feedback, which is so important. And a lot of people don't want feedback because they don't want to hear. They want to just think everything was
yeah.
beautiful. But sometimes everything isn't beautiful. So
Well,
you need that feedback to advance to that next level or what you're trying to achieve. So I
yeah.
applaud you guys for doing that after your events, making sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm big on making sure that our disabled population is felt inclusive as well. And we think this is event. I don't have to worry about that. Have you guys ever experienced a time where you had to make sure that there was room for wheelchairs, accessibility, or things like
Yeah.
that? Because you know what, they like to party too.
Yes.
All the time.
I mean, we did a show at Mother Bar, and I'm not really sure if it's still around on Edgewood Avenue in Atlanta. And the only way to get to the performance area is you had to take one big flight of stairs. They didn't have an
Um,
elevator. They didn't have.
um,
It was on the second floor, and the only way you could get there was taking those stairs. So I mean, I suggested that maybe they should put like a TV downstairs.
uh,
Maybe that way you can get the people that can't go up the stairs. They can still see the
right.
show.
Yeah.
Right. And,
And,
and
and,
it could be talent
and
that
then,
has a disability that
right.
maybe they can't walk upstairs.
Yeah. And
That is something big that we have to take in consideration as well.
and that's not just for the shows now too, because even when we have the recording studios and stuff like that, even where our office is, there was flights of stairs, and we
Mm,
had people who can't go up and down steps
yeah.
and whatnot. So we found some commercial property that could
On one
accommodate,
level.
yeah,
Right.
accommodate the
Right.
steps too. So it's
I'm losing you. I can't hear you. Give me one moment. I think they're
issues that they can't see
okay.
on the little
You,
tiny.
you guys,
Anymore. There
I'm
we
sorry,
go.
you were cutting out on me. I don't know if your
Yeah, there's a
internet was
storm over
freezing.
this side.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's the weather like out there right now?
Very rainy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
We could do it. It's very hot out here. We could go with some rain.
Storm.
Okay. Tell us about any upcoming events. Anything you want to tell us about tonight?
This Saturday is June the 14th, and we're going to be at the Westview Maker Space. It's going to be featuring Raj the Onyx. He's an R&B singer that is just going to just blow everybody away. So I'm very excited about that. We always have early evening shows, so that's 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Westview Maker Space this Saturday. And on June the 28th, we'll be at Spice Bistro at the Spoken Spice Open Mic. And so that's featuring spoken word artist L. Veins, and he's just like he's an actor, a model, a spoken word artist. He's a multi-talented type of person. So our two events for this month will be the June 14th and June the 28th.
No more Beat Lab show.
Beat Lab show probably at the end of the month before June 28th. So it's the Wednesday of the week of the 28th. But we have our live from the Beat Lab show on Facebook Live, and we always talk about
TikTok and all that.
We put it everywhere. So if you want to tune in virtually, you can do that, or tune in person. You can come to our show.
Okay, I know this is Juneteenth weekend.
Father's Day
weekend. Yeah. Are you guys busy with celebrations for Juneteenth?
We're looking at the weather because a lot of the stuff, the festivals are outside.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Just like if it usually in Atlanta is like it rains for an hour, then it stops, and it rains just like spotty off and on. So I'm kind of looking at the weather. A lot of stuff for Friday. They got a parade on Saturday. I think.
Normally I'm doing a show, for Juneteenth for the last couple of years, except for the last 2 years. I haven't done the show, but I don't know. Am I working that day? I think I'm working that day. I think I'm going in, taking care of my people.
But I always say that our shows are rainproof. They're on the inside. So, all you need is an umbrella to get out the car, and you don't have to worry about the weather.
That's one. I'd like to ask one more question. For someone, actually two questions, I guess. For someone that's interested in pursuing being the next Alan Poe and LadyVee, getting into the industry that you're in, what would you recommend?
All right. Before anything, get your paperwork together. We always start with paperwork. When people recognize you as a business, they tend to respect you as a business.
Yes.
We can't come in there and talk about the things we've done and how we're taking care of business here, how we mentor people here, how we do this, if we're not doing it ourselves. So I think before anything, we're the example. Then they take it from there, like, oh, okay. You say you have a studio and all of this talking that you're doing, but then when they walk into the studio, like, oh, wow. You say you have all this stuff, apparel and albums out, but then when they see the information all on the wall, oh, lady, we see that you have books but then when they check Amazon, we see that you host shows and you feature here and you feature there, but then when they see the flyer, the language is a little bit different when you're showing them that, what, it is happening.
Right. And you know what, a lot of times some individuals are looking in and they think it's so easy.
Yes.
Yes.
And for some it is easy because they're not doing everything they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Yes, because they think they can skip all these different steps to get where you are. But you know what? All those steps were very important. Even those stressful, even those mistakes you made along the way, all those steps are very important. What would you say to people think, oh, you know what? I don't have to do that.
Oh, you have to do that.
Well, for example, it's just like I took a course to be a certified event planner. So I have a certificate from actual, online college that says that I'm a certified event planner. And I went to college for 4 years to be with a degree in business administration and marketing. So it's just like, I take those skills and put it towards my poetry shows, put it towards my creative writing workshops. And it's just like, some people, they don't think they have to tell anybody about the show, and they expect people to be sitting in the audience. It's like, wait a minute. I'm the one that's on my laptop at 2 a.m, putting it on Access Atlanta and all these websites and the newspaper and everywhere.
There's a lot of business meetings in this marriage. Put it that. There's a lot of sometimes, I would run point and then she would fall back and let me handle certain things. And there's a lot of things I let her, you handle that. I handle this on the other side, because I know that it's a 50-50 thing.
And how do you decide that?
It depends.
It's strengths and weaknesses. It's just like, that I don't really call it a weakness. I call it an opportunity. But it's just like, I know the things that he's great. He's great at hyping up people. He's the hype man at the show and the music man and everything. And I'm
the hype man.
I mean, you're not the hype man, but it's just like, people come to the show and they expect me to be the quiet one or whatever. But I get all the poets together. I'm just like, So it's kind of like, I guess, yin and yang or whatnot.
Yeah, but the same thing is, like I said, it's a marriage. So, I'm always gonna be her number one cheerleader. I'm the one who got her back. I don't have to say much. Like I said, the presence alone. Even at the shows, I'm like, lady, I think you need to move over here. I'm gonna move over here because you look better on camera here.
Right.
Let's put the seating over here so the people won't knock over the equipment. And now the show is postponed because we have to go through, our diagnostics and stuff like that. So, like I said,
and that goes back to complimenting each other, because
and a fun fact is like, I know you didn't ask this, but it's like my service, my love language is service. So it's just like, we got married because he asked me, do I need a free DJ? And I'm like, let me think about that.
The word is free.
Right. Free DJ, yes.
I was the door manager, the performer, the host, the putting the chairs up, setting up and breaking down, I was the one doing everything at the show and pretty much passing out at the end of the show. And here he comes, he's like, well, you sit down and let me take care of all this. I'm like, okay.
And then on the flip side, I have my record label, my production that needs a place to perform at.
Right.
So, okay, I'm going to take care of this long as they can get the exposure that they need in rotation. We don't just have the same artist every show doing the same thing. One show might be, I might want to break into a R&B singer and a rapper, or the next artist might be a reggae artist, and they have a place to perform.
Yeah.
But they also pay to get in. So it's still business.
So Alan Pough and LadyVee, you're this huge production company, Out Loud ATL, but you're at home, you're Alan and V.
And Davita, yes. Or lady, as he calls me.
Yeah.
Buttercup.
So when is it hard for you guys to drop the titles and take time to just be you two at home with all that you're doing?
For him, not so much, but for me, I'm just like, I think of the shows as like everybody think if the show goes bad, it's LadyVee's fault. Oh God, I gotta fix it. But he's more laid back. That he's the laid back one. I'm the oh my gosh, let me get on the Google Sheets and fix these numbers and blah blah blah.
It's a thing where how can I say this? One thing, I got to shout out to DJ Voltaire, our son.
DJ Voltaire is my son.
Even if I'm in the studio working on something and she's doing what she's doing, just the attention we give him breaks the monotony of being this all the time. So hold on, let's roll on the floor with our son a little bit and get back to the the family thing. And I tell her, we work our 9 to 5s and whatnot, and how can I say this? We're both in a way kind of perfectionists, like trying to make sure everything is taken care of. But also I know I don't want this to become a job where I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do art out loud. I'm tired right now, and when it gets to that point where it's very overwhelming, I tell her, you know what? We gotta chill out. You know,
Yeah.
let's pick this up on Sunday. Let's go to the park. Let's go to Kroger. Let's go to Walmart.
Let's go to Grandma's house in
Let's go.
Augusta.
Let's
Go
go.
somewhere.
Grandma,
Get out the studio.
yeah, let's get up out of here because now.
Yes, I love hearing that because you know what? That's how we start to get burnout. We start
Yeah.
to our family gets burnout, and
Yeah.
all this collaborating and love and coming together that I feel from you too. That starts to separate a little bit when we're starting to get burnout, and it's all about work because
Yeah,
there's
stop.
no that family should not have to fall to the side for work.
No,
Never, ever, ever.
no.
You guys keep
Not
doing the
yet.
great work that you're doing.
Fall to the side.
I heard her, Alan.
Fall to the side. We're good.
Don't be getting me in trouble now.
Yeah, fall to the side.
So, where can our audience reach you if they're interested in your events?
The main place to go is Instagram. So go to @ArtOutLoudATL on Instagram. He does all the custom flyers for every show, and he puts it on the Instagram page. So if you
Okay.
ever want to know where we're going to be at, that's the first place. We have a website. Let's see, it's artoutloud-atl.company.site. And so that's where we put all of our apparel, all of, I'm selling my books on that site. I can give you that link or whatever, because it's kind of hard to remember, but it's just like he puts all his custom t-shirts on there, our books, and just, show information and stuff on our website.
And the Facebooks.
Yes, on the Facebooks.
On the Facebooks.
You can find me under, I think you can find me under LadyVee the Poet now. It's like back in the day, they told you had to use your real name.
Yes.
They had to make sure that everybody was validated and no fraud and all that. But Davita Williams / LadyVee the Poet, and he said Alan Poe.
Okay. So I also like to ask, how has your experience been with Swagger Magazine thus far?
It's been really great for me because, even though the on-site interviews have fallen off, I really love doing that because I got to see so many different people and stuff like that. But it's like she's more into like the print magazine now instead of like going out on location and stuff. But I definitely love the collaboration when it comes to they've got like 4.2 thousand trillion followers. So it's like if Jarmel shares my flyer, then we have people from out of state come to our show because they're like, yeah, we saw the flyer on Swagger. So it's just like, it's not just people in Atlanta now. He's, kind of global with this.
Yes.
Yes. So
and you know what? And that's what this whole platform is for. You want that. And that's what collaborating with a Swagger magazine is supposed to do for you, is to get your brands out there when you work with them. So it's so amazing to see that is working. So I'm thanks for sharing that information. And again, it was such a pleasure to have you guys here today. I enjoyed talking with you and love those cool glasses.
That's his signature.
Yes. And any last minute, you have your event, let's say it, tell them again where your show is going to be. Your event is this Saturday?
This Saturday, June the 14th. So it's going to be at Westview Makerspace, 1554 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard in Atlanta. Totally free parking. It's going to be, a fantastic feature artist, Raj the Onyx, an R&B singer that's going to just turn it out. It's weatherproof. You don't have to be outside. So definitely meet us at Westview Makerspace this Saturday, June the 14th, 5:30 to 8 p.m.
Okay. Nice timing. Wonderful. And it was such a pleasure to have you guys here today. And I look forward to following you guys on your social media and seeing everything that you guys have going on out there. And maybe one of these days, Kathy Blaze will be out there to ATL and get to meet you guys in person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you all for joining us this evening. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.